Ambassador Lee Hanna stepped out of the human transport pod and into the massive docking bay of Galactic Council Station Omega-7. The air smelled different here. It carried a metallic tang mixed with something sweet that made her nose wrinkle slightly. The gravity felt lighter than Earth normal but heavier than the moon bases she had trained on. The docking bay stretched out before her like a cathedral made of metal and light. Ships from dozens of different worlds sat in neat rows. Some looked like the sleek vessels she recognized from human designs. Others appeared to be grown rather than built with flowing organic curves and what looked like breathing vents along their sides. A few defied description, entirely floating without visible support systems or engines. A delegation of aliens waited for her near the main entrance. Hanna had studied their species files during the long journey from Earth, but seeing them in person felt entirely different. The tall crystalline being in front sparkled with internal light that shifted from blue to green as it moved. Behind it stood an insectoid creature with 6 arms and compound eyes that seemed to track everything at once. Ambassador Lee Hanna of Earth. The crystal being spoke through a translation device that made its voice sound like wind chimes. I am Chief Medical Officer Veltar. This is Security Director Morden. Welcome to Station Omega-7. Hanna bowed slightly in the formal greeting she had practiced. Thank you for hosting humanity's first diplomatic mission. We are honored to begin this process. The insect creature Morden clicked its mandibles together. The honor is mutual. Your species has achieved faster than light travel without council assistance. This is most unusual. They walked through corridors that curved in ways that hurt to look at directly. The walls displayed what Hanna assumed were advertisements or news feeds in languages that looked like mathematical equations mixed with abstract art. Other beings moved past them in the corridors. Some walked on legs like humans. Others floated or rolled or moved in ways that seemed to ignore gravity entirely. The screening process is standard for all species seeking council membership, Veltar explained as they walked. We must understand your biology, your psychology, and your technological capabilities. This ensures proper integration and identifies any potential compatibility issues. Hanna nodded. She had read the briefing materials dozens of times. Every species that joined the Galactic Council went through this same process. It had never failed to properly categorize a new species in over 3,000 years of Council history. Earth's xenobiologists were confident that humans would fall somewhere in the middle ranges of most measurements. They entered a large white room filled with equipment that hummed with energy. Hanna recognized some devices as medical scanners, though they looked far more advanced than anything Earth had developed. Other machines were completely alien in design and purpose. Please stand in the center circle, Morden instructed. We will begin with the standard weapons screening. Hanna moved to the indicated spot. She wore the simple gray diplomatic uniform that Earth had designed for first contact. No jewelry, no electronics, no anything that might be misinterpreted as threatening. The Council had been very specific about these requirements. A soft blue light surrounded her. She felt a slight tingling sensation as the scanners examined every inch of her body. The process took several minutes while various aliens operated control panels covered in symbols that looked like flowing water. Weapons scan complete, announced a new voice. Hanna turned to see another alien that looked like a tall, pale human, but with too many joints in its arms and legs. No projectile weapons, no energy weapons, no biological weapons, no cybernetic enhancements detected. Veltar made a sound like crystal glasses touching together. Excellent. Standard results for a diplomatic mission. Now we proceed to biological monitoring. More machines activated around Hanna. She felt warmth as different types of scanners examined her. The aliens watched their displays with professional interest. This was clearly routine for them. Neural activity detected and cataloged, the pale alien reported. Brainwave patterns within normal ranges for a carbon-based intelligent species. Respiratory function nominal, added another voice from across the room. Oxygen-based metabolism confirmed. Hanna relaxed slightly. Everything was going exactly as Earth scientists had predicted. Humans might be new to the galactic community, but they were still made of the same basic materials as everyone else. Initiating cardiac monitoring, Veltar announced. Several large displays around the room lit up showing various waveforms and data streams. Hanna watched the aliens' faces as they studied the readouts. She saw their expressions change from professional attention to confusion. Calibrate the sensors again, Morden ordered. The machines cycled through their startup sequences. The displays refreshed, showing new data streams. The aliens consulted their instruments with growing concern. Thermal imaging shows expected blood flow patterns. One reported. Skeletal structure indicates a functional circulatory system, added another. But we are getting no cardiac rhythm detection, Veltar said slowly. Hana watched as more aliens gathered around the monitoring stations. They spoke in rapid bursts of their own languages before switching back to the translation system. Run a full diagnostic on all cardiac monitoring equipment, Morden commanded. For the next 20 minutes, Hana stood in the scanning circle while aliens ran test after test on their machines. She could see green lights and hear confirmation, chimes indicating that all their equipment was functioning perfectly. The diagnostic confirms all. Systems are operating within normal parameters, the pale alien reported. Veltar approached Hana directly. Its crystalline face flickered with rapid color changes. Ambassador Lee Hana, we need to ask you a direct question. Are you currently alive? Hana blinked in surprise. Yes, of course I am alive. Why would you ask that? Our medical scanners detect your breathing, your neural activity, your body heat, and your metabolism, Morden explained. But we cannot detect any cardiac rhythm whatsoever. According to our instruments, your heart is not beating. But that's impossible, Hana said. She placed her hand over her chest and felt the steady rhythm of her heartbeat. My heart is beating normally. I can feel it. The aliens exchanged glances that needed no translation. Something was very wrong. In 3,000 years of galactic medicine, Veltar said quietly, we have never encountered a living being whose cardiac function was undetectable to our instruments. Hana felt her own heart rate increase as the implications began to sink in. Every species in the galaxy had been successfully scanned and categorized by this same equipment. Every species except humans. Is there a problem? She asked, trying to keep her voice steady. The answer came in the form of alarm lights that began flashing throughout the medical bay. The alarm lights painted the medical bay in flashing red patterns, while automated voices announced security alerts in multiple alien languages. Ambassador Lee Hana stood frozen in the scanning circle as armed guards rushed into the room. Their weapons looked like rifles but glowed with energy that made the air around them shimmer. Stand down, Security Director Morden commanded, raising one of his 6 arms. The subject is not hostile. We have a medical anomaly. The guards lowered their weapons but remained in position around the room. Hana noticed that each guard belonged to a different species. One looked like a bear made of living stone. Another resembled a floating jellyfish with mechanical tentacles. The diversity reminded her that she was representing all of humanity in this moment. What exactly is happening? Hana asked, keeping her voice calm despite her racing pulse. Chief Medical Officer Veltar consulted a handheld device that projected holographic displays. In galactic medical science, cardiac rhythm detection is fundamental to determining life status. Every living being in the known universe produces detectable bioelectric patterns from their circulatory system. Dr. Kim Jin-woo rushed into the medical bay carrying a case of human medical equipment. He had been waiting in the diplomatic quarters when the alarm sounded. His face showed concern as he took in the scene of armed guards and flashing lights. Ambassador, what has happened? He asked in Korean before switching to the standard galactic language. Our medical scanners cannot detect her heartbeat, Morden explained. According to our instruments, she should be clinically dead. Dr. Kim set down his case and pulled out a simple human stethoscope. May I examine the ambassador? Veltar gestured agreement. Kim placed the stethoscope against Hana's chest and listened for several seconds. His expression relaxed slightly. Her heart is beating normally, he announced. 72 beats per minute. Strong and regular rhythm. The aliens gathered around Kim with intense interest. The pale humanoid alien that Hana now knew was called Dr. Aylwin bent down to examine the primitive human device. This instrument detects cardiac function through acoustic vibrations, Aylwin observed. How remarkably inefficient. Why do you not use bioelectric scanning? Kim looked puzzled. We do use electric scanning for some purposes, but direct acoustic monitoring is often more reliable. The human heart creates physical sound waves with each contraction. Sound waves, Veltar repeated slowly. Its crystalline body flickered through several color changes. You detect life through mechanical vibrations rather than electrical signatures. Both methods work for humans, Kim explained. He pulled an electronic heart monitor from his case and attached sensors to Hana's wrist. The device immediately displayed a steady pulse reading. See? 74 beats per minute on electronic monitoring as well. The alien medical team crowded around the human device. Dr. Aylwin scanned it with several different instruments while speaking rapidly in its native language. The human electronic monitor operates in a completely different frequency spectrum, Aylwin announced. It reads electrical activity, but in ranges we do not typically scan. Word of the cardiac anomaly spread quickly through the station. Within an hour, the medical bay filled with scientists from multiple species. They brought increasingly sophisticated scanning equipment, but none could detect Hana's heartbeat. Commander Vex-High arrived with additional security personnel. She was a tall reptilian being with scales that changed color as she moved. Her presence made the already crowded room feel tense. This situation presents significant security concerns, Vex-High announced. How can we monitor the vital signs of beings whose life functions are invisible to our technology? We are not invisible, Hana protested. Your scanners detect my breathing, my brain activity, my body temperature. Only the heartbeat seems to be undetectable. The heartbeat is fundamental, Morden explained. Our lie detection systems monitor cardiac stress responses. Our medical emergency protocols depend on cardiac monitoring. Our threat assessment computers analyze heart rate variations to predict aggressive behavior. Dr. Kim looked thoughtful as he listened to these explanations. On Earth, we understand that different species might have different biological signatures. We designed our first contact protocols to account for such variations. But no species has ever been undetectable before, Veltar insisted. In 3,000 years of Council history, every intelligent life form has fallen within known bioelectric parameters. News reports began appearing on the wall displays throughout the station. Hana could not read the alien text, but the images showed her face alongside human cardiac monitoring equipment. The story was spreading throughout the galactic communication networks. Other human diplomatic teams are reporting identical issues at stations throughout Council space. Commander Vex-High announced reading from a communication device. This appears to be a species-wide characteristic rather than an individual anomaly. The implications began to sink in for everyone in the room. Humanity was not just different from other species. They were different in ways that challenged the fundamental assumptions of galactic civilization. Dr. Aylwin approached Dr. Kim with obvious excitement. Would you be willing to participate in extended medical testing? We could learn much about human biology and perhaps understand why your cardiac signatures are undetectable. What would such testing involve? Kim asked cautiously. Comprehensive scans using every type of medical technology available, Veltar explained. We have equipment from 47 different species. Perhaps one of their biological monitoring systems will be compatible with human physiology. Hana and Kim exchanged glances. They had come to the station expecting routine diplomatic procedures. Now they found themselves at the center of a scientific mystery that could affect humanity's entire relationship with the galactic community. I volunteer for the testing, Kim said firmly. Understanding this difference could be crucial for future human-alien cooperation. Commander Vex-High stepped forward. The testing will be conducted under strict security protocols. Until we understand the implications of human undetectability, all humans on this station will remain under protective observation. Are we prisoners? Hana asked directly. You are guests whose unique nature requires special precautions, Vex-High replied diplomatically. As the medical teams began preparing for comprehensive testing, Hana realized that humanity's first contact with the galactic community had taken an unexpected turn. Instead of being welcomed as another ordinary species, humans had become subjects of intense scientific interest. The question remained whether this attention would prove beneficial or dangerous for Earth's future among the stars. Dr. Kim Jinwoo lay on an examination table surrounded by the most advanced medical equipment from 47 different worlds. The testing chamber hummed with energy as dozens of alien scientists worked to solve the mystery of human cardiac invisibility. 3 days had passed since the initial discovery, and the entire station buzzed with scientific excitement. Ambassador Lee Hana watched from an observation deck above the testing floor. She had become something between a diplomatic guest and a fascinating specimen. Every meal brought requests for interviews from alien researchers. Every corridor walk attracted curious stares from station personnel. Park Min-soo sat beside her reviewing technical specifications on a holographic display. He had been called in from the human engineering team when the aliens realized they needed help understanding human technology. What started as technical translation work had become something much more significant. "These Elkani bioscanners show no cardiac activity," announced Dr. Aolwin. "The Morden insectoid medical sensors detect no heartbeat." The crystalline Veltaran life detection arrays read Dr. Kim as deceased. Dr. Kim remained calm despite being declared dead by multiple alien medical systems. His training in xenobiology had prepared him for unusual situations, but this exceeded all expectations. However, Dr. Aylwin continued, the human monitoring equipment clearly shows strong vital signs. Heart rate steady at 76 beats per minute. Blood pressure normal. All human measurements indicate perfect health. Chief Medical Officer Veltar approached the examination table with a device that projected complex mathematical equations in the air. "We have discovered something remarkable about human bioelectricity. Your neural activity operates in electromagnetic frequencies that we have never encountered in biological systems." Park Min-soo looked up from his technical display with sudden interest. "What specific frequency ranges are you detecting?" "Human brainwaves register in the 0.5 to 100 Hz range," Dr. Aylwin explained. "But they also show activity in much higher frequencies that our standard biological scanners ignore." "Higher frequencies," Park repeated thoughtfully. He pulled up technical specifications for Earth's faster-than-light communication systems. "What frequencies exactly?" Veltar manipulated its device to show a detailed electromagnetic spectrum. "Your neural activity includes components in the terahertz range. We typically ignore these frequencies because no known biological processes operate at such levels." Park stared at the display with growing excitement. "Those are the same frequencies we use for quantum communication with Earth. Our FTL transmitters operate in precisely those ranges." The alien scientists exchanged glances that needed no translation. This revelation opened entirely new possibilities. Dr. Kim sat up on the examination table, despite protests from several medical technicians. "Are you saying that human brains naturally generate the same type of electromagnetic activity that our most advanced technology uses for faster-than-light communication?" "It appears so," Veltar confirmed. "But we need more data to understand the implications." Over the next several hours, the testing expanded beyond simple medical scanning. Park Min-soo worked with alien technicians to modify their quantum bioscanners to detect the unusual frequencies of human neural activity. What they discovered changed everything. "Humans do not just exist outside our normal biological detection range," Dr. Aylwin announced to the assembled team. "They exist in electromagnetic spectrums that we associate with dark matter interactions." The room fell silent as the implications sank in. Dark matter made up most of the universe but remained largely mysterious even to advanced galactic civilizations. Commander Vexhai arrived with additional security personnel as news of the discovery spread. "Explain this dark matter connection in terms that non-scientists can understand," she demanded. Park Min-soo stood and activated a holographic projector. "Imagine that every species in the galaxy evolved to see only certain colors of light. You all developed technology based on those same colors. But humans evolved to see completely different colors that you did not even know existed. This is why our medical equipment cannot detect human cardiac activity," Veltar added. "Human hearts generate bioelectric patterns in frequencies that our scanners are not designed to measure." Reports began arriving from other human diplomatic missions throughout Council space. Every human team was experiencing identical detection problems. The pattern was consistent across the entire species. Dr. Kim volunteered for additional testing to map the full spectrum of human bioelectric activity. The results were startling. Human neural activity included components that interacted with quantum fields in ways that should have been impossible for biological systems. "Your brain patterns show correlations with dark matter fluctuations," Dr. Aylwin explained while reviewing the latest data. "This suggests that human consciousness somehow evolved to interact with fundamental forces that we are only beginning to understand." Ambassador Hana felt a chill as she realized what this meant for humanity's future. "Are you saying that humans are somehow connected to dark matter?" We are saying that human evolution took a path that no other known species has followed. Veltar replied carefully. You developed intelligence and technology, despite being fundamentally incompatible with standard biological monitoring systems. Park. Minsu made a breakthrough while examining the alien quantum bioscanners. By reverse engineering their technology and combining it with human engineering principles, he created the first hybrid scanner capable of detecting human vital signs. The key is expanding the frequency range and adding quantum field detectors, he explained while demonstrating the modified equipment. Human biology operates across a much broader electromagnetic spectrum than any other known life form. The hybrid scanner successfully detected Dr. Kim's heartbeat for the first time using alien technology, but the readings showed something unexpected. Human cardiac activity included quantum components that seemed to correlate with emotional states and conscious thoughts. Dr. Kim, please think about something that makes you happy, Dr. Elwin requested. The scanner readings changed immediately, showing new patterns in the quantum field interactions. When Kim thought about something sad, the patterns shifted again. Human consciousness appears to directly influence quantum fields around your bodies, Veltar announced with obvious amazement. This level of mind-matter interaction should be theoretically impossible. As the day ended, Ambassador Hana realized that humanity was not just another species seeking membership in the galactic community. They were something entirely unprecedented that challenged the basic assumptions about life and consciousness in the universe. The question now was whether this made humans valuable allies or dangerous unknowns that the galaxy could not afford to trust. Captain Choi Yuna stood on the bridge of the Earth vessel Harmony's Edge, watching the massive Galactic Council station through the main view screen. Her ship maintained a respectful distance from the diplomatic proceedings, but her sensors tracked every energy signature coming from the station. What they detected made her increasingly concerned. Captain, we are receiving unusual quantum field readings from the station, reported her science officer Nam Kyung-hwan. The patterns match the signatures we detected during our faster-than-light experiments, but much stronger. Yuna frowned as she studied the sensor data. Are those readings coming from our diplomatic team? The quantum disturbances seem centered on the medical sections where Ambassador Hana is being tested, Nam confirmed. But Captain, there is something else. The alien station's computer networks are behaving strangely. On the station, Dr. Kim Jin-woo continued his voluntary participation in the most comprehensive biological study ever conducted. 4 days of testing had revealed that human consciousness operated in ways that challenged every assumption about life in the universe. Ambassador Hana watched from the observation deck as alien scientists struggled to understand the implications of their discoveries. Reports kept arriving from other human diplomatic missions throughout Council space. Every human team was producing similar results. Dr. Kim, we need to test your conscious control over biological functions, Dr. Elwin announced. Previous scans suggest that humans may have voluntary control over processes that are involuntary in other species. Kim nodded agreement. He had practiced meditation and biofeedback techniques during his medical training. What would you like me to demonstrate? Please attempt to slow your heart rate while remaining conscious and alert, Veltar requested. Kim closed his eyes and began the breathing exercises he had learned years ago. He focused on his heartbeat and gradually slowed his breathing. The hybrid scanner display showed his heart rate dropping from 75 beats per minute to 60 to 50. The alien medical team watched in fascination as Kim's heart rate continued to decrease. 40 beats per minute, 30 beats per minute, 20 beats per minute. Remarkable, Dr. Aylwin whispered. He is maintaining full consciousness while achieving a heart rate that would indicate deep coma in any other species. Kim opened his eyes while maintaining the slow heart rate. In human meditation practice, we learn to control many automatic body functions. Heart rate, breathing, blood pressure, even pain responses. Pain responses, Commander Vexhai asked sharply. She had been monitoring the test with growing security concerns. Would you like me to demonstrate? Kim offered. Dr. Aylwin produced a device that generated mild electrical stimulation. This produces standardized pain levels for medical testing. The setting is calibrated to cause discomfort but no harm. Kim allowed them to attach the device to his arm. When activated, it sent electrical pulses that would normally cause any being to react with obvious distress. Kim remained completely calm, showing no signs of pain. The device is functioning normally, a technician reported. Electrical output confirms standard pain stimulus levels. I can feel the sensation, Kim explained. But humans can consciously control our response to pain. We can choose not to react. The implications terrified the alien observers. A species that could consciously control pain responses, heart rate, and other involuntary functions represented something beyond their understanding of biological limitations. Park Minsu made another breakthrough while studying the station's computer systems. The alien artificial intelligence networks are having difficulty processing human presence, he reported to Ambassador Hana. Their systems cannot predict or model human behavior patterns. What do you mean? Hana asked. Every alien species follows predictable biological patterns that their computers can analyze and forecast, Park explained. But human quantum field interactions seem to interfere with their prediction algorithms. On the bridge of Harmony's Edge, Captain Yuna received reports that confirmed Park's observations. Captain, our stealth systems are more effective than expected, Nam reported. The aliens' sensor networks have difficulty maintaining locks on our ship. They cannot detect us properly, Yuna realized. Not just detection, Captain. Their computer systems seem unable to predict our movements or tactical decisions. We are essentially invisible to their artificial intelligence networks. Back in the medical bay, Dr. Kim agreed to attempt the most dramatic demonstration yet. Can you achieve a state that mimics clinical death while remaining conscious? Dr. Aylwin asked. I can slow my biological functions to near-death levels, Kim confirmed. But I will remain aware throughout the process. The medical team prepared their most sensitive monitoring equipment. Kim lay back on the examination table and began the deepest meditative state he had ever attempted. His breathing slowed until it was barely detectable. His heart rate dropped below 10 beats per minute. All alien medical sensors now read him as clinically dead, Veltar announced with obvious amazement. Kim's body appeared lifeless to every alien monitoring system. But the hybrid human-alien scanner showed minimal but steady brain activity. He remained conscious and aware while appearing completely dead to standard galactic medical technology. Dr. Kim, can you hear us? Dr. Aylwin asked. Kim opened his eyes and gradually returned his biological functions to normal levels. I could hear everything. I remained fully conscious the entire time. The alien medical team stared at him with expressions that mixed scientific fascination with instinctive fear. A species that could fake death so perfectly that advanced medical technology could not detect the deception represented capabilities beyond their experience, Commander. Vexhai stepped forward with obvious concern. This demonstration shows that humans could infiltrate any medical facility in the galaxy. Our death detection protocols are emergency medical, systems are forensic, investigations all depend on biological monitoring that humans can consciously fool. Ambassador Hana felt the weight of these revelations settling on her shoulders. Humanity had sought membership in a galactic community that valued cooperation and peaceful coexistence. But their unique biological capabilities made them appear potentially dangerous to beings who relied on technology to monitor and predict behavior. We came here seeking friendship, Hana said quietly, but we are learning that our nature makes us fundamentally different from everyone else in the galaxy. Elder Zaranath arrived at the medical bay as reports of the death simulation spread throughout the station. The ancient being had overseen the integration of countless species into the galactic community, but had never encountered anything like humanity. In my 1,000 years of life, Zaranath spoke slowly, I have witnessed the joining of 47 different species to our council. Each brought unique gifts and perspectives, but none challenged our basic understanding of what constitutes life and consciousness. The elder approached Dr. Kim with obvious respect. Your species represents something unprecedented. You have achieved intelligence and technology while remaining fundamentally undetectable to our standard methods of biological monitoring. As the day ended, Ambassador Hana realized that humanity stood at a crossroads. Their unique nature could make them valuable partners in exploring the mysteries of consciousness and quantum mechanics. Or it could make them pariahs feared by civilizations that depended on predictable biological patterns. For social stability, the next phase would determine whether humanity found acceptance or rejection among the stars. Elder Zaraneth had lived for over 1,000 years and had witnessed the rise and fall of entire civilizations. She had overseen the integration of 47 different species into the Galactic Council and had never encountered a situation that challenged her understanding of life itself. But humanity was different in ways that made her question everything she thought she knew about evolution and consciousness. The Elder called for a full council session to address the human situation. Representatives from every member species gathered in the Great Assembly Hall of Station Omega-7. The chamber stretched upward like a cathedral with floating observation platforms for species that could not use traditional seating. Ambassador Lee Hanna stood in the center of the assembly, surrounded by beings from across the galaxy. Some looked almost human, while others defied easy description. The diversity reminded her that Earth was seeking to join something far greater than any single world or species. We have gathered to discuss the unprecedented situation presented by humanity, Elder Zaraneth announced. Her voice carried easily through translation systems to every being in the chamber. For the first time in Council history, we have encountered intelligent beings who exist outside our standard biological monitoring capabilities. Dr. Veltar presented the medical findings to the assembly. Human consciousness operates in electromagnetic frequencies associated with dark matter interactions. They can consciously control biological functions that are involuntary in all other known species. Their bioelectric signatures exist in ranges that our technology was not designed to detect. Murmurs of concern rippled through the assembly. Representatives from military species exchanged worried glances. Others leaned forward with scientific interest. "What are the security implications?" asked General Korthax of the Hegemony Fleet. His species looked like armored bears with multiple eyes. "How do we monitor beings whose vital signs are invisible to our systems?" Commander Vexai stepped forward to address the assembly. "Humans appear to be undetectable to our surveillance networks, our medical emergency systems, and our behavioral prediction algorithms. They can consciously control their biological responses in ways that could fool any of our monitoring technologies. They demonstrated the ability to mimic clinical death while remaining fully conscious," added Dr. Aylwin. "This level of biological control is unprecedented and potentially concerning from a security standpoint." Ambassador Hanna felt the mood of the assembly shifting toward fear and suspicion. She had come to the station hoping to establish peaceful relationships, but humanity's unique nature was being perceived as a threat. Park Minsu stood beside her with data files containing his analysis of the human-alien technology integration. "May I address the assembly?" he asked. Elder Zaraneth nodded permission. "While human biology is indeed unusual, we have also demonstrated the possibility of beneficial cooperation," Park explained. "By combining human engineering principles with galactic technology, we created the first scanners capable of detecting human vital signs. This represents the beginning of true technological collaboration." He activated a holographic display showing the hybrid scanner designs. "Human consciousness may operate in quantum frequency ranges, but this opens possibilities for advancing everyone's understanding of dark matter physics and consciousness itself." Dr. Kim Jinwoo joined them in the center of the assembly. "We did not choose to be different," he said simply. "Human evolution followed a unique path, but we seek the same goals as everyone here. We want to explore the universe, learn from other species, and contribute to galactic civilization. But how can we trust beings we cannot monitor or predict?" asked Representative Silandra of the Diplomatic Corps. Her crystalline form flickered with agitated colors. "The foundation of galactic civilization rests on our ability to understand and anticipate each other's actions." Elder Zaraneth raised her hand for silence. "I have been considering this situation from a broader perspective. In my long life, I have learned that evolution rarely creates accidents. Species develop the traits they need to survive in their environment." She moved closer to the human delegation. Humans achieved faster-than-light travel without council assistance. They developed spacefaring technology while remaining biologically incompatible with standard galactic monitoring systems. This suggests that your evolutionary path was necessary for your survival and development. "What do you mean, Elder?" Hanna asked. "Every other species in the galaxy achieved spaceflight by developing perfect biological harmony with technology," Zaraneth explained. "Your species achieved it despite being fundamentally different from technological norms. This suggests remarkable adaptability and determination." The elder addressed the full assembly. Perhaps humans represent not a threat but an opportunity. They have evolved capabilities that could help us understand aspects of the universe that we have never been able to explore. Their consciousness interacts directly with quantum fields, Dr. Veltar added. This could unlock new understanding of dark matter physics, faster than light communication, and the fundamental nature of consciousness itself. But we still cannot monitor or predict their actions, General Korthax objected. Can you monitor or predict the actions of a star or a black hole? Elder Zaraneth asked. Yet we coexist with these forces and even benefit from them. Perhaps the key is not to monitor humans, but to understand them. Captain Choi Yuna's voice came through the communication system from her ship. Elder Zaraneth, our sensors have been monitoring the station during these proceedings. We have detected no aggressive actions or threatening behaviors from any human personnel. You have been monitoring us, Commander Vexhai asked with surprise. Our technology allows us to observe without being detected, just as your technology cannot monitor us effectively, Yuna replied. We could have gathered intelligence without your knowledge, but we chose transparency instead. Park Minsu activated another display showing technical schematics. We propose establishing joint research facilities where human and galactic technologies can be combined. The hybrid scanners are just the beginning of what might be possible. Imagine medical technology that could monitor both standard biological patterns and quantum consciousness interactions, Dr. Kim added, or communication systems that could utilize both conventional and dark matter frequencies. Representative Mordoon spoke from his position in the insectoid delegation. This could revolutionize our understanding of consciousness across all species. Perhaps other civilizations have quantum consciousness components that we have never detected. Elder Zaraneth nodded thoughtfully. The humans present us with a choice. We can fear their differences and reject them as too dangerous to integrate, or we can embrace their uniqueness and explore what we might learn from consciousness that operates beyond our current understanding. What safeguards would be implemented? Asked General Korthax. The same safeguards we use for any species, Elder Zaraneth replied. Mutual cooperation, shared research, and gradual integration based on demonstrated peaceful intentions. Ambassador Hana felt hope returning as the assembly began to shift toward curiosity rather than fear. Humanity seeks partnership, not domination. We offer our unique perspectives in exchange for the wisdom and knowledge of galactic civilization. The vote will be held tomorrow, Elder Zaraneth announced. Tonight we all have much to consider. As the assembly dispersed, Ambassador Hana realized that humanity stood at the threshold of either acceptance or rejection by the galactic community. Their fate would be decided by beings who were struggling to understand consciousness that operated beyond the boundaries of known science. The next day would determine whether humanity found their place among the stars or remained forever alien to galactic civilization. The Grand Council chamber had never seen a debate like this one. For 3,000 years, the Galactic Council had followed established procedures for integrating new species. Every previous species had fit within known biological parameters. Every previous species had been predictable and monitorable. Humanity challenged every assumption about what constituted normal intelligent life. Ambassador Lee Hana stood in the witness circle at the center of the vast chamber. Above her floated observation platforms holding representatives from 47 different worlds. Some platforms contained single massive beings, while others held entire delegations of smaller creatures. The diversity was overwhelming, but today they all focused on the same question: what to do about humans. Elder Zaraneth called the session to order. We gather to vote on humanity's application for Galactic Council membership. This decision will set precedent for how we handle future species that exist outside our standard biological understanding. The military implications cannot be ignored. General Korthax declared from his platform. Humans can fool our medical systems, our surveillance networks, and our behavioral prediction computers. They could infiltrate any facility in the galaxy without detection. They demonstrated the ability to fake clinical death while remaining conscious, added Security Commander Torvak from the Rigel system. This represents an unprecedented security threat. Murmurs of agreement rippled through several military delegations. Ambassador Hana felt the weight of these concerns, but also understood their fears came from lack of knowledge rather than evidence of human aggression. May I address these security concerns directly? She asked. Elder Saraneth nodded permission. Hana activated a holographic projector that Park Minsu had prepared. I want to demonstrate something that no previous species has ever offered the Council. The display showed real-time sensor data from Captain Choi Yuna's ship Harmony's Edge. For the past week, our vessel has been monitoring this station using human technology that your sensors cannot detect. We could have gathered detailed intelligence about your defensive capabilities, your internal layouts, and your security procedures. Gasps echoed through the chamber as the implications became clear. The humans had possessed surveillance capabilities that the Council never suspected. But instead of using this advantage for intelligence gathering, we chose to share our technological capabilities openly. Hana continued. We revealed our biological uniqueness voluntarily. We submitted to comprehensive testing. We demonstrated our most sensitive abilities because we want partnership based on trust and mutual understanding. Park Minsu joined her in the witness circle. We propose something unprecedented in galactic history. Complete technological transparency. We will share our unique capabilities in exchange for integration into galactic civilization. What exactly are you offering? Asked Dr. Silandra from the Science Council. Joint research facilities where human and alien technologies combine to advance everyone's capabilities, Park explained. Medical scanners that can monitor both standard biological patterns and quantum consciousness effects. Communication systems that utilize dark matter frequencies for faster-than-light transmission across greater distances. Dr. Kim Jinwoo stepped forward. We also offer to train selected volunteers from other species in human consciousness control techniques. If our abilities can be learned, then the security concerns become shared capabilities rather than unique threats. Representative Veltar's crystalline body flickered with excited colors. You would teach other species to control their biological functions consciously. We would share everything we know about consciousness quantum field interaction and voluntary biological control, Kim confirmed. Our goal is mutual advancement, not competitive advantage. The chamber buzzed with discussion as delegates considered these unprecedented offers. Never before had a species offered complete technological and biological transparency as part of their membership application. There are still significant risks, General Korthax insisted. What prevents humans from using their unique abilities against Council interests in the future? Captain Choi Yuna's voice came through the communication system from her ship. General, if I may demonstrate something. Proceed. Elder Zaraneth permitted. My ship is currently docked at Station Omega-7 using standard Council docking protocols. But our stealth capabilities mean we could depart without your knowledge. If we chose to do so, alarm spread through the military delegations until Yuna continued. However, we are voluntarily broadcasting our exact location using both human and Council communication frequencies. We want you to be able to monitor our vessel at all times. This is our commitment to transparency. Elder Zaraneth looked thoughtful. You are demonstrating that your unique capabilities could be used for deception, but you choose openness instead. Exactly, Ambassador Hana confirmed. We understand that trust must be earned. We offer to be the first species in galactic history to submit to joint monitoring using both human and Council technologies. Dr. Aylwin spoke from the medical research platform. The scientific possibilities are extraordinary. Human consciousness appears to interact directly with quantum fields. This could revolutionize our understanding of physics, consciousness, and the fundamental nature of reality itself. But it also means humans exist partially outside normal space-time. Worried Representative Kethan, how do we establish legal frameworks for beings who can influence quantum fields with their thoughts? Park Minsu activated another display showing legal and ethical framework proposals that human philosophers and alien legal experts had developed together. We have been working with Council legal specialists to address these concerns. The frameworks treat quantum consciousness interaction as a natural ability subject to the same ethical restrictions as any other capability. Elder Zaraneth addressed the full assembly. We face an unprecedented decision. We can reject humanity based on fear of their differences, or we can accept them and potentially unlock new understanding of consciousness physics in the universe itself. What safeguards would be implemented? Asked General Korthax. Graduated integration with monitoring by joint human-alien technical teams, Elder Zaraneth explained. Shared research facilities on neutral worlds. cultural exchange programs to build mutual understanding, and most importantly, complete technological transparency from both sides. The debate continued for hours as delegates wrestled with fears, hopes, and possibilities. Finally, Elder Zaraneth called for the formal vote. All those in favor of granting humanity full council membership. Under the proposed transparency protocols, lights appeared throughout the chamber as delegates cast their votes. Blue lights indicated approval. Red lights indicated rejection. Yellow lights indicated abstention. The voting continued for several minutes as 47 different species made their decision about humanity's future. Ambassador Hana watched the lights appear with growing tension. The vote was close, but gradually blue lights began to outnumber red ones. The vote is complete, Elder Zaraneth announced. 31 species approve. 12 species reject. 4 species abstain. Humanity is granted full membership in the Galactic Council under the enhanced transparency protocols. Cheers erupted from some platforms while others remained silent. Ambassador Hana felt overwhelmed by the significance of this moment. Humanity had gained acceptance not despite their differences but because of their willingness to share those differences openly. Ambassador Hana, Elder Zaraneth said formally, "I welcome humanity to the Galactic Council. You become the first species, designated as evolutionary guardians, recognizing that your unique development path may hold keys to advancing all galactic civilization." Captain Yuna's voice came through the communicators. "Elder Zaraneth, we have an incoming transmission from Earth. The first colonial ship has just departed for Council space. Humanity is ready to begin its expansion into the galaxy." As the ceremony concluded, Ambassador Hana realized that humanity had found something even better than acceptance among the stars. They had found partnership with beings who valued their uniqueness and shared their commitment to exploration and understanding. 6 months later, Dr. Kim Jinwoo and Park Minsu led the first joint human-alien research facility, while Ambassador Hana served as humanity's voice in the council. Earth's colonial ships began establishing settlements throughout council space as humanity took its place in galactic civilization. The species that had once been invisible to alien technology became the key to unlocking new understanding of consciousness, physics, and the mysteries of the universe itself.